Banzarangar Padma Sadarda Ahom 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 Banzarangar Padma Sadarda ahum banjarangara padmasadarda 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 सदर्द ahum banjarangara padma sadarda 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 ahum banjarangara padma sadardo. 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 Ahum banjarangara सदर्द ahum banjarangara padma sadarda 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 ahum banjarangara padma sadardo 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 ahum Banjaran Gora Padma Sadardo Ahom 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 Banjaran Gora Padma
Sambara Sambara Bamana Saramaha Zambaba Humpala Soha Om Sambara Sambara Bamana Saramaha Zambaba Humpala Soha Om Sambara Sambara Bamana Saramaha Zambaba Humpala Soha Om Nantadanam Daram Jananda Taship Shirji Jana Bjibaya Sarje Juda Gimdan Barbazo Kanlab Shirm Sada Darjab Tashi Shurd Medialab Salaftan Tundurgon Shamba Janwala Geda Wala Damba Kanla Gomba Jajira Darba Janan Hambur Tarampara Sadata Wala Dana Simchanan Hamja Largon Darba Wala Yataman Zalaba Zaraba Wala Din Sansaman Tubi Tashi Walam Yelava Devara Shakapa Jalab Shakam Zalalon Janwala Jan Wardan Durjim Zana Shari Zawam Gombo Shambo Wala Saye Nyambo Japanam Beresalanam Ki Nyambo Bagam Chakandab Zan Apala Durji Parkara Lashandan Orva Dawa Radjanya Mayev Shakam Sanan Lagnam Tashi Wala Dim Chakab Shanchibu Senwa Jalab Shakam Zalaloran China Digam Chakam Tashi Sirjanyam Don Jawamza Yelon Kamala Nyanjaka Don Don Panzo Kwanavi Manaba Galamsan Wam Diram Kordos Tiran China Dagam Chak Jajib Shakam Zanam Janam Shakte Jarawan Chacha Deep Jadama Gagaswango Chambi Kwalapi Lava Tashi Lamo Jalab Shakam Zalalo Samba Chimbo Dim Josh Til Midava Merston Danda Jalabu Yalam Korachon Parti Bodan Lawan Mimabzanam Tujidi Harzim Korlo Tanjashala Dam Don Durji Janam Bawarala Churtin Jansanam Zanan Sasamanis Gelaga Tashi Pilanjitan Joab Jalab Sham Zalalov Darcha Tandar Shawa Sumbalab Gartani Varaseva Kanajanin Doton Walimpit Samdun Yevjanandra Tashim de la Ratan Saman Janakan the Lami Yobjalam Jero Rolamojian Chajalazin Abza So Jib Jalavi Mulam Liv Jovi Kanam Zam Chula Babe Jananji, Zinjeraji, Namora Najaya, Namo Bangawati Bandar Saratamradana Tangataya, Arahate Samyak Sampataya, Tarada Umbanzir, Banzir, Mahambandir Mahatin, Zamandar Mahabaya Mandar, Mahabuta Satam Bandar Mahabuta Mantropas, Manam Bandar Sarvakarma, Warana Bishudana Bandar Swana, Murana Jaya, Namo Bangawati Bandar Saratamradana Tangataya, Arahate Samyak Sampataya, Talayanta Umbanzir. Banzir Mahambandir Mahatin Zambandir Mahabaya Bandar Mahabuta Satam Bandar Mahabuta Mantropas, Manam Bandar Sarvakarma, Warana Bishudana Banzir Suhana, Murana Jaya, Namo Bangawati Bandar Saratamradana. Tanayata Banzir, Banzir, Mahambandir, Mahatin, Zambandir, Mahabaya Bandir, Mahabuta Satam Bandar Mahabuta Mantropa Santanmana Bandir Sarvakarma, Warana, Bishudana Banzir Madi Sim Janan Gananje, Gonam Jerajan, Dalade Gonji, Mabzadan Jum Zadala, Gunamamali, Jabjanan Janan Jeraba. Chamadanam Kuranji name that shall the Bando Ladim Zimser Yella Jedam Teram Tayena Chutan Chulan Bab the Jedaba Dem Chutan Chumandan James Zolam Babam Jamhala Janara Jerbala Shamzola. Satagam Shabji, Jitinati, Samam Shabama, Sangakan, the game Malay, the Dantam Jedala, Lidang, Yella Dami, Shabjo, Zambu Shabba, Mulamado, the gay, Jalatam Jataya, Jane, Samanda, Janga, the Lanyala, Liram, Talpai, Jalava, Kalara, Shamsalo, Darjitana, Darnilla, Sardina, Sardi, Win. Abjipata, Tetara Chujayana Malipa, Tamjala Jarava, Taki Kambaramo, Tetakam Yapa, Mazala Jamsuna, Yanchi, and the Jamsu, Jakananji, Jarava Kanji, Yundana Rabjula Jam, Beber of Shagapa, Tamjala Dakim to the Metoga Dambam Chawa, Dambata, Selinian and Dam, she by Dim Choda, Maramim Chotam, Dibu, Tambaye. Jarava te tagalanam chopurja Tambanam Tanjam Joda, Shima Paramara Rabanyam Bata, Kolapan Chadaparam Pagban Chokananji, Jarava te tagalanam chopurja Cholpakanam Ablamila Jachiva, te taga Jarava Tam Chatalayamo, Zambu Shola Talput of Tagaki, Jarava Kalab Sham Salan Chopurja, Docha Zerda me Wangina, Litanga Tantip Jana. Dipa the cave, Jipan Chimchipa, Teta Tamchel of the case, Osrupsha, Shochi, Jaravak and dance, or Jeti, Ranjidanam, Dam, Lobdam, Lobdam, Joak and James, Sonamakalaya, Teta and Jis of the Yera, Kanam Shochim, Jitin, Drumanam, Shanchiver and Berasanji, Machavni, Gombo, Teta, the game, Tamchadalam, Gorlov, Lana, Milpam, Kurva. Yanganam Datun Kamjala Tetalam, Duakan La Pamjam Devabshir, Kalapa Janga, Dalanilabji Parayam, the game Dalmur of Jerasurabja, Shamsalawatam Churjam Shapata, Jisayaram Kalajam Survai, Geva Chonzala Daki Chapsaba, Tamchela Daki Shanchip Shirab Janab Jipa Sanji Jum Dandi Tamchalata Sapchalani Pip Shanchip Zenwa Chimbunam Lama Durjim Zamba Chimbunam Dalar Gonsu 上去娘不人去接我的上街那么了接不进去去当上去不先花也走了对不起那接不进去上去不娘不人去接我的上街那么了接不进去去当上去不先花也走了对不起那接不进去上去不娘不人去接我的上街那么了接不进去上去不先花也走了对不起那接不进去这得我接的这个接上去不的那接了巴达上去不先回来巴拉得得人家那里巴达对不起着了盘顿的上去不先那接接上对不起那的那拉巴拉人巴真的拉不着接这得我接的这个接上去不的那接巴达上去不先回来巴拉得得人家那里巴达对不起着了盘顿的上去不先那接接上对不起那的那拉巴拉人巴真的拉不着接这得我接的这个接上去不的那接巴达上去不先回来巴拉得得人家那里巴达对不起着了盘顿的上去不先那接接上对不起那的那拉巴拉人巴真的拉不着接当的当心比不有的没这了巴拉巴拉他不得让上街的事情上街这事大家都但那的给着你家里当他们不理咱们的就没了怎么领的了要把人们家的得得些老为不是得碰不理是得人情的年的巴得这是得的呢Lagi deram curba tam chada jab sangaram roa besakanya dana warta delam jundu buzanan ji la dan la man la soga verji shanchi busim chorum bochi marchi banama ji jirji chi banyan ba me parayang gone kondam peversho shanchi busim dam derjam shanchi bishla jurvata Sanjay nam ji om zom sham da je de nam ba versho Sen hoa nam ji na rutun thila gong dribsho gombo yin gong gong ba sim chana nam la tim jirsho sim chana tham chada de ta dan jirji ngan ru tham chada ta ta tong versho shang jib sen hoa gang ta sar ji ba de ta gan ji mo la mam je par jo ma hong she de chana bar ba wang ga bob jang da de tong su su to ba ye shir ka ma ja de dan ba me ram jan ne durje ma na wa chim bu kal churke na wam dai durje chum ji te na wam ji de ji ji cha ze par ma jer bu khon ding a wam jer na de zan na wan chen he re ga sa wa ye shi ban der wa ra dem chong da pa jer pu de chen der ma le jer ge em cho ri shi de man cho tan nam sa de wam ji de tong kar wam jer durje hwa won da ki so na tong nyam ba chim bu nga nya ra ta durje kai kar ji cha sama yo gak me la song ge ja ji kam sam ge wa zara mar bung khon de on la cha pa de ji tam cha yo shan de par shi Chimbu thi chi na nam ni ngo dun dor kim chok to jang dur ji chok je je ba chimbu yi na ta de ba chimbu ru tam shi le pam thai jim ja da ba ro kar ja na dar ji kom ba shi ba jim ji ba ram jim sa sam wang gal ha zo la ki bi zur wan dip su shin ji lo chok ta na ngo dun dor ki kwan tha ta thok mi le kwan ta she pa ngo ju zo da ma hu she de chin bar ba wang go bob jang da de tong so so ro to pa ye shir ka ma cha de de na ba mi ram jan ne dur ji nya ma na wa chimbu wal churke na wam dai dur ji chun ji te na wam ji thi ji ji cha zi pal ma jer bu khon ding a wam jer na ta zan na wan chen he ra ga sang wa ye shin ban da wa ra dem jong da ba jer pu de chen de ma le jer gi em cho ru shi da ma cha tam sa de wam shi de tong kar wam jer dur ji hwa hon da ki so na tong nyam ba chim bu nga nya ra da dur ji kai kar ji cha sam yo ga ma la song ge ja ji kam sam ge wa zar mar pong khon de on la cha ba de ji tam cha yo sang da par shi dur ji chak ba chim bu thi ji na nam ni ngo dum dor kim chok tu lo ja dur ji chak cha chak ba chim bu ye na ta de wa chim bu dum shi le pa ta ye jim ja da ba ro kar cha na dar ji gong wa shi wa jim je pa Gibi Sarvan de Subsingilo, Chotanango Drum, Dorgin Quantata, Tomili want of Shepherd, Solo Ma, de Chin Baraba, Wanga, Pop Down the Deton Sosoro Topa, Yeshirka, Macha Dipton, Pami Ramsani, Virginia Mana, watching Bokal, Shurkana one day, Durji, Jitin, Wamsi, each other. By my dear book, holding a one dear and under the no once in Erika, Savayashi, Bandara, them Chandor, Pajara, they senator, Malay Jerky, and Torip Shitaman, Chotan Shadi, once you get there, Tonker, one the Durji, Daki, so an Antonium Bachimbung, and yet Durji, Kachita, Samayo, Gamalasung Gabjeti, comes some was there a Marapon Conde, on like Chabot, the J. Tamchaleos, and the Persian. Chembuti Jena, and I'm young or drum the game, Chotoloja, Durji Churches of Pachimbu, not a day watching Brudum Shedipan, they jump to the Java, Karachan, and the Jacom of Shibab, Jim Ramjam Sasam, one girl had so like Ibis or and the Sushin Jilo, Chotanango drum the game Watata, told me they want the Shelban, Driver, or Jena, Yen of Shansam, Padma, Kesara, Dombola, Yansan and Choker, or Driven, Padman, Johnny, Jesus, Corda, Pando, Mambo, Corinji, Jesus, that Deputy, Shinji, Lobsir, Shas, Gara, Panamas, the Hoy, Chadabangaram, some Jelata, Chaparins and Chimpop Jetta, some new Tibjeta, Depshin Pajela, Sorovan Dipshin Jelo, Shana, Sami, Watches, Samba, Ipsin, the Badam, Chodan, Tamon, Drupson, Chabangaram, some Jelatam, Chaparins and Chimpop Jet, some new Tibjeta, Depshin Pajela, Sorovan Dipshin Jelo, Shana, Sami, Watches, Samba, Ipsin, the Bada, Chodan, Tamon, Drupson, Chabangaram, some Jelatam, Chaparins and Chimpop Jet, some new Tibjeta. Hatsolam, Sorovan Dipshin Jelo, Shana, Sami, Watches, Samba, Ipsin, the Bada, Chodan, Tamon, Drupson, Chabangaram, some Jelatam, Chaparins and Chimpop Jet, some new Tibjeta, Dipshin Pajel, Hatsolam, Sorovan Dipshin Jelo, Shana, Sami, Watches, Samba, Ipsin, the Bada, Chodan, Tamon, Drupson, Chabangaram, some Jelatam, Chaparins and Chimpop Jet, some new Tibjeta, Dipshin Pajel, Hatsolam, Sorovan Dipshin Jelo, Shana, Sami, Watches, Samba, Ipsin, the Bada, Chodan, Tamon, Drupson, Chabangaram, some Jelatam, Chaparins and Chimpop Jet, some new Tibjeta, Dipshin Pajel, Hatsolam, Sorovan Dipshin Jelo, Shana, Sami, Watches, Samba, Ipsin, the Bada, Chodan, Tamon, Drupson, Chabangaram, some Jelatam, Chaparins and Chimpop Jet, some new Tibjeta, Dipshin Pajel, Hatsolam, Sorovan Dipshin Jelo, Shana, Sami, Watches, Samba, Ipsin, the Bada, Chodan, Tamon, Drupson, Chabangaram, some Jeta, Chaparins and Chimpop Jet, some new Tibjeta, Dipshin Pajel, Hatsolam, Sorovan Dipshin Jelo, Shana, Sami, Watches, Samba, Ipsin, the Bada, Chodan, Tamon, Drupson, Chelam, Sorovan Tapun Team, Daxogan, the Nipa, Subshos, Nata, Galapon, Tap to the Javata, Chutam, Jashim, Pirver, Zatu, Solo, Jimmy, Tomba, Nilata, Tim Jonga, now I'm Gamila Zonji, Jimmy, Ramdan and I'm current church and a gem to where in China Santa Panya, Daverta, Tomba, Somi, the Shirja, Sangina, Sirjim, Dogjan and Santa, Whipshiladan, Chuko, some sort of the Rigi, the Trump, Shaggy, Seven of Shagja, Lakjamsha, Shagayon and Yamshak, Dirty, Homzelena, Sirjir, Terazak, Jella, Wambara. Yes, she was the Javi, Quayan, Javani, Jelanifton and Chetri, so Paganso, Jamsum, Kurji, Yon Kurjan, Jambazam, Jitas in Tanin. They want to call Zulu, Jabgan and Deep, Dagni the Chimbo, Yanji Chimbo, so the enemy jams on him, Molam Chimbo, Nadjata, Parkarataram, some two Shermurdo, Stombati, Jij and Life, Sham Salalo, Dagana goes some gates, or long should have G comes on, should have put under my name, but Tom Melanif, Saturday, Tom Mali, by your name, Jurpata, so Surim Parata. So she would give an tism of Salajis, Yerango, Zapja Jachi, Chuchin, Corlos, Shoja, Jim, Shepherd, and Corta Sol, Chonan, and Kartavi, Yeshirka, Tism of Jeremy, Parabshimodaje, Dabshi, Nangor, Change, Salaton, and Jam, Terpozirka, Tata, Nawarenzod, Daki, Tism, Sapa, Gates, Oji, Quachebundro, and Lap and Halata, Chuchi, Jelabo, Takapara, Nip, Shalajam. San Chuji Jalaba Compang to Perisho, Darjani Mim, Joan Gomila Nama, Tiji, Lakaparazon, Quaternally, Jandan Dim, the Renchin and Amsamanji, now I genial Jin Chenlinian, Dipsha Jamcho, told me the cheaper Yichi Yanis and Divana, Gonje Tamja, Chimbo, Mamila, Shancha, Varda, Tiji, Jim, Zan, Zodam, San and Jetpata, Zom, Libby, Jenjiston, Birkel, Lay, Shinji, was there not so now I Chimbo, Dardan, Simchin and Tamcha, the Pat, and Jalab Sarjan, Takba, Chimbo, Lamji, Yundan, Television, Shermer Tobo, Sanum, Baran, Sam, Lam, Tumbachum, Dandi, Tijan, Shabata, Jumbaya, the Paradopa, Sanji, Quadjera, Shabjata, Balab, Sherim, Salon, Chotor, Jepson, Lam, Tumbachum, Dandi, Tijan, Shabata, Jumbaya, the Paradopa, Sanji, Quadjera, Shabjata, Balab, Sherim, Salon, Chotor, Jepson, Lam, Tumbachum, Dandi, Tijan, Shabata, Jumbaya, the Paradopa, Sanji, Quadjera, Shabjata, Balab, Sherim, Salon, Chotor, Jepson, Lam, Tumbachum, Dandi, Tijan, Shabata, Jumbaya, the Paradopa, Sanji, Quadjera, Shabjata, Balab, Sherim, Salon, Chotor, Jepson, Lam, Tumbachum, Dandi, Tijan, Shabata, Jumbaya, the Paradopa, Sanji, Quadjera, Shabjata, Balab, Sherim, Salon, Chotor, Jepson, Lam, Dandi, Tijan, Shabata, Jumbaya, the Paradopa, Sanji, Quadjera, Shabjata, Balab, Sherim, Salon, Chotor, Jepson, Lam, Tumbachum, Dandi, Tijan, Shabata, Jumbaya, the Paradopa, Sanji, Quadjera, Shabjata, Balab, Sherim, Salon, Chotor, Jepson, Daredo, Mani, Mahamanizo, Daredo, Mani, Mahamanizo, Daredo, Mani, Mahamanizo. Taredo mani mahamanizo, 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 ha, mani mahamanizo, mani mahamanizo, mani mahamanizo. Mani mahamanizo, mani mahamanizo, mani mahamanizo, mani mahamanizo, ha, Devara Sherpa, Chirka Jamdatam, Kurta, Katsatan, Shankamanda, Chirje, some Chakam, Buchendawa, Tendran Corner, Dazan, Jeramara, Shona, Me, Saravata, Tangata, Bayobaku, Makambi, Saravata Kangat, Saparana, Mangangana, Ganso, Hai, Jim, Dotan, Kanjam, Braham, Dochi, Reason by me, Jim to the Sanchana, Nora Bram, the Quater and Ponier and Jim, Solon, Choto, some Don, Hundreds, Jim, Dotan, Kanjam, Braham, Dochi, Reason by me, Jim to the Sanchana, Nora Bram, the Quater and Ponier and Jim, Solon, Choto, some Don, Hundreds, Jim, Dotan, Kanjam, Braham, Dochi, Reason by me, Jim to the Sanchana, Nora Bram, the Quater and Ponier and Jim, Solon, Choto, some Don, Hundreds, de Hon, Gandab, Samo, Yeshi, two person. Yeshile Danjetin Mamoto, Zolam Chotam Jervim, names of the Hoin Gandab, Samo, Yeshi, two person, Jelmo, Ekanzacham. Yeshile Danjetin Mamoto, Zolam Chotam Jervim, names of Hoin Gandab, Samo, Yeshi, two person, Jelmo, Ekanzacham. Yeshile Danjetin Mamoto, Zolam Chotam Jervim, names of the John Chimji Chimbura, Japan, Jirdom, Zada Jakara Japa, Dipjin, Solom Chotam Chermim, names of John Chimji Chimbura, Japan, Jirdom, Chajata, Zada Jakara Japa, Dipjin, Solom Chotam Chermim, names of John Chimji Chimbura, Japan, Jirdom, Chajata, Zada Jakara Japa, Dipjin, Solom Chotam Chermi, Chanlames of the Hon. dam chen che wo chen bu ti lim san ye de da mam zang gang po ni so kap cha sam ja de ji so dang jin so lom cha dang chen lim chen lim zu hoi dam chen che wo chen bu ti lim san ye de da mam zang gang po ni so kap cha sam ja de ji so dang jin so lom cha dang chen lim chen lim zu hoi dam chen che wo chen bu ti lim san ye de da mam zang gang po ni so kap cha sam ja de ji so dang jin so lom cha dang chen lim chen lim zu de shi ban ma wang ge quan nhân năm thâu wo chi chep san da pa je bo yang le we sa mar bo kwa kwa da ban jin so lom cha tam cha vim chen nim zut she ban ma wang ge quan nhân năm thâu wo chi chep san da pa je bo yang le we Solam chatam charmim chanim zada she padma wanga panyanam thawo che chetana dagpa jerbo yale were samar po kwa kurap chapan jim solam chatam charvi chanlim zada kanshi yan chamba samji jam dalpa ngochaba devaram zapai churchon yabshanam lorvan chenam jim dagga samdam ali nyeran jaban zada am korndi chukana gatari panga randamam ga yeshi ornge no ngowa wardanam jambu durjila namba chepchi yebjanam norbanyed karsalam zimzam banja daye chin chumchel shagdir al jalegwamanam Javni chela joy wala zara mamilan chorana tagab jend la mira salai ni chinara wo sterni jang kama jama walain Shalab Yadalashman Jimede Panzo Jabala Solorava Devergom Yeder Topa Pover Shenanti Rani chinera wo sterni jankam sanjama wale de jefshalab yedalashman jimede panzo jabala solorava devergom jeder tobaim pover shenanti alo ani chinera wo serni jankam sanjama wale de jefshalab yedalashman jimede panzo jabala solorava devergom jeder topaim pover shenanti lobam tarna blam olngi teler jerang pshawani jenya wintam jadakana yeshi chimdi blamata kalawam nyambab shalab thoba parasam Cheva canta ya tabla madam jamed chuji palla lopshe de cha sada lamji yundan rabzoni durjin chang kombam yer tavasho jumdan din gombon jawala yang shagam salalo gangalo judum yetum teren yastara nam tagarab sadavi chenyel dungan jibjan zibshrenyer jit gar lawam zan kan tagarab zonjar mare mantan din la chizara do soga kanla va chigum tarzi alla tuji ayandana som ditre chedgam nyamo nyen hon le je jagdog dum zadacha mare mam zadab ding la nyag chemnyela chom zadarat nam dunni tabjam sarjim tarsayun le zog jeti tawushk chatagam jatam jeni jenjib daglo manzalam jawala yalla umara patana da 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 umara patana Umara patana do 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 umara patana Umara patana do 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 zedanan jerjim cherab ol zarajib daglo tamay mambarab sanani padam damju jonle topayem lojur bolba nawa jelada solo
得很累，你们就特别高兴。
I'm really tired, and maybe that's why you're so happy.
我知道。냥 지침벌도 님이 정도는 몸은 좀 모르는 게다. 방거도 공전도 실물도 tum바도 제잔라 기점사를 거는 또 그런 전 형본 거를 연동 건조가 이제서 돈이 형벌에 비해 남자를 봐 혼자 남자를 정으로 소로한데 마음은 괜찮은 형라셔 건도 좀벌 못 남버 접지게림 틀리 좀 잡반자나미 잔라 기점사를 산당 회시 정보 용속 고르시로 땀밤에 빔초신 용속 동하고 어떻게 바탐진 맵시 배 리당 어당 셈견바고 리당 어당 용속 떡정 셈 용속 떡 그라정메 그런 거라고 셈화배 상기지 용던 잡메 바토장 짐브르만지로 뇽몬 보자 찹절 비르셰위셔 시럽 팀순 논보 도바고 셈전 담지지 크르크르위셔도 풍보던 감다 팀chất 그는 시바고 드길대 좀 비셔 존진 바라고 ngărtirme 비셔 이신 소라고 추종 유셔는 도반용장 쪽시바고 직된 담적 가브럽샤 유셔는 직된지 추담전 만제바고 직된 담 담브럽샤 유셔를 졸음 담절레 마님 바샤 담절 영도 버럽 담비 샤비셔 응음버 시바게 바고 두바 담절 종 유셔 우종당 잠바당 이시소 샘진 담지지 태습자 비셔 원범 촉담 촉마연 바시바고 주담 비비셔 신지로 신럽 토바메 바고 포바토베랍도 니베 포바토바메 바고 게압지 레지 람 용서 답베 레 하담메 포섬 조밤 용하고 차담메 바비셔 랍도 케베 참비 람던 코바고 주담 브럭소라도 지세 예랑장 락소집샤바 짐베 산지지 의양 랍도 토바고 리당강당 예들 돈베 캬버던 로아던 주탐칠라 마차베 산제지 쇼여랍도 토바고 샹주선고 겐던 샹주선고 겐던도 베 토바 침보라 영도 브론즈 바고 용던 탐칠 샴바 침보던 담비셔는 디마시 디마시는 용던 탐지도 쳇마자베버 요바인데 르기버 데르타베나 장주산화 출랍 존장 장주산화 디시 자퍼 만게로 장주산화 장주산화 디시 자퍼 마샤우 마셰도
This week, we will have the classes of Vimalakirti Sutra, and on Wednesday we will have the class on the teachings from the Guru, from Phuntsogren Rinpoche. So for those of you who have interest and who can watch the teaching video of Phuntsogren Rinpoche or reading the text of it, so you have to fulfill this either of these two requirements to fulfill the prerequisites to attend the Wednesday class. So that's the prerequisites of attending the Wednesday class. Next week, I thought to continue with the teaching of Vimalakirti Sutra and Uttara Tantra Shastra, but then I changed my mind and thought to give some other teachings next week. But I'm not quite sure what teaching I would give yet. I was originally wanted to continue with the Vimalakirti Sutra and the Uttara Tantra Shastra, but maybe the after-class discussion group would encounter some difficulties. Therefore, we might change the class schedule, so we'll see. Last class, we started on the part where we talk about the not exhausted conditioned and not abide in the unconditioned, neither exhausted conditioned nor abide in the unconditioned. This part is actually really deep in meaning. It's profound pithy instructions. The merits of the conditioned Dharma should not be eradicated, otherwise we will be difficult to continuously to practice the Dharma next life. We should continuously to accumulate the merit every day, continuously to accumulate, because if we were to use up all the previous merits that we accumulated before, then we will then exhaust all the causes for joy, and all we have left would be the causes of our suffering. Therefore, it is quite important of not stopping to accumulate the merit of the conditioned. The previous class, we've already talked about the 25 dharmas, or 25 parts of the conditioned. Now we're on the 26th Dharma, which is Dharma teaching, which is a practice in limitless generosity. One will become replete in characteristics and marks. If we continuously to then practice generosity, such as generosity of giving the Dharma, generosity of giving the wealth, and generosity of giving fearlessness, if we can continue to do that, especially generosity of providing fearlessness, which is then release life. I think lots of people do practice that. That's wonderful. And I really hope that you could continuously to do that. Continuously to practice generosity of providing fearlessness to other sentient beings, to protect them. I've said before that as long as I'm alive, and any of the sentient beings who could receive happiness or freedom, it would be wonderful, even during my birthday or any of those holidays. And whenever I die, I really hope that all of you could mark my day of death as a day to release lives. You could call it the day of my death or the day of my parinirvana, whatever you call it. But I really hope that would be the day that you remember my teaching of releasing lives. And if you could practice in such a way according to what I said, then I would be very happy, even if I was in boredom. After a few days, it would be my birthday. I know that many people are preparing to release lives, and I think it would be the best to keep it low-key and not to do it in an extravagant way. You should do it rather skillfully, and you don't have to do it on that particular day. This is really by how you wish to release lives or not. It is not by requirements. If you are then participating or hosting such event of releasing life, then also I would ask you to make sure to watch out for your own safety as well. We have 100-day we have annual 100-day life releasing practice. Such practice of generosity of protecting sentient beings or generosity of fearlessness And you really shield the sentient beings from suffering and from fear. And I really feel very happy if you could practice in such a way. There are people who give me praise and who offer me wealth on the day of my birthday. I do feel happy momentarily, but those are conditioned. They would change, and that such happiness will be impermanent. But if you could practice generosity of fearlessness, then I think that's a really great way of celebrating, a really great way of making me happy. In fact, generosity such practice is a great practice, even if the object that you're practicing to does not have a pure intention. The beggars or whomsoever ask you for money, if they ask for money or ask for whatever you could give them out of a way of deceiving you, but if you have a really pure and altruistic intention, still you will receive great merit. When practicing generosity, although the field of merit may not be as solid, with great altruistic intention one would receive ineffable virtuous result. It is stated in the Sutra of Origin of Buddha. Even if you notice the object or the person whomsoever asks you or requesting you for something, their intention is not pure, but if you have a pure and altruistic intention, then the merit would still be unimaginable. When even if the other person who's asking you for something out of a deceiving intention, you should contemplate in such a way that the other person have such need, therefore you should happily then practice generosity to him. And the result of practicing generosity is that you'll be able to receive the result, or to have the result of being reborn as beautiful, just as the Buddha has the 32 primary characteristics and 80 subsidiary marks. And in lifetimes, you will be really pleasant to look at, which is quite important in modern society, isn't it? We had this advocation that you should practice one kind act one day per day. And if you could do it in such a way, you'll be able to then receive a beautiful outlook. Also, there are people who, at first, they were very enthusiastic in providing, practicing generosity, but slowly their enthusiasm will fade. Therefore, I call upon you to maintain such an enthusiasm. Do not practice one day and give up on the other. In our Buddhist Study Association, as well as practitioners and sanghas everywhere, I really hope that you should then practice and should support one another to practice generosity and charity, not only to support poor students, but all kinds of charity, to provide such generosity practice to all kinds of sentient beings. There are practitioners who only think about the ways of providing benefits to others, and there are practitioners who only think to benefit oneself. Not only that they are selfish, they deceive others to benefit themselves, or harm others to benefit oneself. Maybe that's because of their karma. Of course, we cannot require everyone to be like bodhisattvas, but we should try our best, because our life is very limited. And when we have this limited life, we should use the this limited time to practice the practices that is worth of value, worth of benefit for this and next lifetimes, because you never know when you will lose such opportunity because of impermanence. Therefore, whenever we have such opportunity, let's cherish it and do not deceive yourself. Otherwise, you are not really doing a favor to yourself or others. So the first one is to practice limitless generosity, and the second one is eliminating all evil. One will purify one's body, speech, and mind. That's the 27th Dharma. One should then eliminate all evil that includes the body, speech, and mind, or the evils or the misdeeds that's prescribed by the Buddha, or inherent misdeeds, as well as misdeeds that's in violation of Vinaya. Of course, it's very difficult to be completely pure. We would have some defilements, sometimes violate our vows, or have the mind of anger or jealousy. We have all kinds of defilements or afflictions that would arise, but we should at least try our best to purify our body and mind and speech. Sometimes when the conditions are mature, it is rather quite easy to practice virtuous deeds. I read in Vinaya text where it says that a master who bought a poor person who sold himself as a servant, and the reason that the owner who purchased him was to ask him to kill other beings, and then this poor servant replied to the master saying that I've taken the vow of no killing, therefore could you please do not ask me to kill others. And then he started expounding the reasons of not killing others and the virtue of not killing others. Then the master, after listening to the poor servant, agreed with him and agreed of not killing other sentient beings as well. So during our practice of the correct Dharma, I think in ancient times people really value the truth. Even if someone as a poor servant, if he were speaking the truth, then the master would listen to them. But nowadays it's completely different. Nowadays it's that one person, even if I try my best to convince the other person of not conducting any misdeeds or any evil, the other person would probably then argue back 3 times. So to eliminate all evil and to correct all the misdeeds, those are the things that we should do. Those are the ones who build the Dharma structure. And in the 28th, being born and dying for countless kalpas, one will remain courageous throughout. Now we dwell in samsara, but we should have the mind of courageousness. We should not retrogress. Just as it says that because of wisdom, bodhisattva do not abide in the 3 existences, and because of compassion, the bodhisattva do not abide in nirvana either.
退失信心就不能退失信心。我看到那个《地藏十轮经》里面呢，就是有一个叫什么呢？就是虽见之助有情，一切在众苦。虽其近亲仅勇猛而这个惧怕。就是说呢，
What it says in the Kshitigarbha, the Sutra of 10 Wheels of Kshitigarbha, it says that whomsoever the being is seen, afflicted by all kinds of suffering, motivated by vigorous diligence, the Buddha liberates them fearlessly. All sentient beings have very different habitual patterns, and they feel all kinds of afflictions. But a true bodhisattva would not feel discouraged because of the number of sufferings. Not only they're not discouraged, they are encouraged, they are even more diligent, and they would use different kinds of skillful means to liberate the sentient beings who are suffering. So sometimes when we read the biographies of masters, we see how the great masters in the past or in the modern time, during the course of how they liberated the sentient beings, in fact, the whole course is not that smooth. It's not that easy. In fact, they encounter all kinds of obstacles, ups and downs, different kinds of slanders from the society and so on, but they never really give up. They never give up the great activity of propagating the Dharma. So in our practice, of liberating sentient beings, we will definitely encounter all kinds of fear, all kinds of obstacles, but we should, instead of feeling discouraged, we should be even more encouraged to give rise to the mind of benefiting sentient beings. That's the 28th. And then the 29th one says that hearing the immeasurable merits and intention of the Buddha, one will never become tired. Sometimes we hear the stories of the Buddha's bodhisattva activities during the stage of cause. And we hear that how the Buddha during the fruition stage, his qualities and his manifestation of qualities or merits. At that time, when we hear all of these, the Hinayana practitioners, they may feel rather afraid or fearful, but the Mahayana practitioners, they won't feel retrogressed, they won't feel afraid. They're not afraid of such tireless practice, just as in the Mind Mirror where it says that the Supreme Dharma is difficult to attain, yet I vow to attain it. And the Dharma doors are countless, yet I vow to practice it. So we should have such kind of determination to make such vows. We should have courage to practice in such a way. During the course of practicing such great activities, we do not retrogress from such path. This is extremely important. Do not retrogress from this path. The benefit of liberating sentient beings. Sometimes there are things that could seem to be rather menial, but then Bodhisattva who practice exertion, they would not give up because of laziness. In the Mahaprajna Sutra, it says that when a Bodhisattva endeavor in activity of constructing or mending the garan, which means the Sangha, in managing the Sangha as well, managing projects such as structures in the monastery within Sangha. If Bodhisattva consider an eon's dedication as long and infinite work, then this Bodhisattva bodhisattva is considered as a bodhisattva of laziness, of laxity. Yet, if a bodhisattva considered an eon's dedication as a day's work, then this bodhisattva is a bodhisattva of diligence. So the bodhisattva would see the difficult work that lasts in an eon's dedication, but they see it as only as a day's work, then this is a bodhisattva that is called a bodhisattva of diligence. During our practice of serving the Sangha or volunteer work, whenever we hear such kind of activities practiced by the bodhisattvas, we should not give up. In a short period of time, there are people who feel it is so difficult and they would give up. But the true bodhisattva, the true bodhisattva, mahasattva, even if they are scolded, humiliated, even if they had to dedicate their work for an eon, they would not feel tired. They would only consider it as a day's work. This is called a bodhisattva of diligence. There are people who dedicate their work to serve the others. They count their fingers of how many days are still left in their volunteer work, and they spend every day as a year. This is bodhisattva of laxity or of laziness. So you can look at yourself. Are you bodhisattvas of laziness or diligence? Raise your hand if you consider yourself as diligence, bodhisattva of diligence. How about the bodhisattvas of laziness? So there are people who do not raise a hand when they're lazy or the diligent ones. So you're neither, or did you not understand what I was talking about? Maybe you're a little shy. The next one talks about with the sword of wisdom one will destroy the bandits of afflictions. Which means at that time we've already then realized the emptiness, and in such kind of wisdom, all the afflictions, all the three poisons are just like the bandits that's very easy to conquer, such as saying in the compendium of the Teaching Sutra, where it says that wisdom is like a sharp-edged sword, which can cut through binds of craving, disentangle one from birth and such, and part one from collective faults. So through such kind of wisdom sword, one could easily cut the vines of afflictions, and then we'll be able to disentangle from the birth and death. As long as we have the non-dual wisdom, the ultimate wisdom, then in our world we'll be able to practice virtuous deeds and devoid of all the evil deeds. Also in the compendium of Teaching Sutras, there are different kinds of metaphors, such as if one lacks the light of wisdom, the mind would be devoid of clarity. Thus one becomes like an animal but covered with a human skin. So it says that if we don't have the light of wisdom, then this person is covered with the darkness of ignorance, and such kind of person is like an animal that's covered with human skin. This wisdom talks about the wisdom of distinguishing right from wrong. There's also another metaphor from the sutra saying, from the Sakya Pandita's aphorism, where it says that in front of the foolish ones, in front of there are people who do not have any wisdom. They would be very happy to get together with the foolish ones, but they feel really afraid in front of they feel rather quite afraid in front of the ones who are wise. When we talk about the characteristics of a wise one and foolish one, when we talk about the Indian cattle, we say that they have the characteristic of having a hump at their back and a flap under their neck, and that's their characteristic. And for a foolish one, that is said that a person should have a characteristic of being wise. Otherwise, the person do not have such a characteristic of being wise. So the kind of person who are rather very happy and in front of foolish ones, but not really happy in front of the wise ones, they're like the cows without top, without where they're like cows with upper teeth. Master Yin Guang then used the metaphor saying that a person who do not have any ideal, do not have any higher goal to pursue, they do not have any altruistic mind to benefit others, then they're just like naked worm who do not even have any fur on it. In fact, human beings have lots of characteristics and lots of functions, and they can do lots of things. If they do not practice virtuous deeds and they practice evil deeds, and then they could cause lots of harm. Unlike yaks and cows, the most they can do is just eating grass and sleep, and they won't really harm others. But for human beings, they have the intention and the means and the ability of practicing misdeeds and great misdeeds. So in such a way, if a person have such kind of distracting mind and distracting intention, then the person would create lots of misdeeds, much worse misdeeds than the animals. Yes, on the surface it seems that the animals are not smart, they're rather stupid, but they most of the time cannot create such detrimental results than human beings. So if human beings do not have the sort of wisdom, then such kind of person is rather pitiful. Sort of wisdom.
下面这个35个法啊，就是不是31是吧？
The 31st.
它这里31呢是这样的。
31st it says that.
触那个运
One will complete understanding the skandhas, realms, the 18 realms or 18 dhatus and 12 entrances or ayatanas. One will bear the burden of sentient beings and always make them become emancipated. Over here, the English version is separated into two sentences, yet it's considered as one Dharma teaching over here. To benefit sentient beings, to liberate sentient beings, to help sentient beings to be emancipated from samsara.
然后其他的有几个译本吧，包括这个唐译啊、藏译啊，就这些的话呢。
Xuan Zang's translation as well as the Tibetan translation, it says that in order to bear the burden of sentient beings, one should completely understand the skandhas, realms, and entrances. So it is in order to burden the sentient beings, one should understand the skandhas, realms, and entrances. The translation is a bit different, but what it means is that through understanding skandhas, realms, and entrances, and the nature of the relative phenomena. You can then, on one hand, to surpass the relative phenomena, and then on the other hand, you could then help the sentient beings to be emancipated from samsara. Understanding the relative teaching or relative means of skandha's realm and entrances, and understand that in its true nature there is nothing to be attained. If one could understand all of such, then one will be able to bear the burden of sentient beings and lead them to emancipation. This is the responsibility of bodhisattva. From other people's perspective, they may feel that this is such burden, this is lots of suffering to help them. But from a bodhisattva's point of view, they feel that this is the burden of sweetness, or it's bittersweetness. They would just carry the sentient beings just as how parents would carry their babies on their shoulder. Yes, they're carrying something, but they feel really happy inside. But from other people's perspective, it's really not happy. Other people feel that this is lots of suffering, lots of responsibility, and lots of work. But from bodhisattva's point of view, it will be very different, because liberating sentient beings, in fact, is quite beneficial for lifetimes. So you have to understand the nature of skandhas, dhatus, and ayatanas, so that you'll be able to benefit limitless sentient beings. That's the 31st. And the 32nd, it says that with great exertion one will subjugate the armies of Mara. You have to use great subjugation. In the Yogacara text, where it says that there are the exertion of study, contemplation, practice, as well as pacify one's obstacles. Over here it has armies and Mara. Mara over here says about the 4 Maras and troops. According to Master Kuei Ji, it says, he said that there are 10 kinds of armies, such as the army of fear, the army of sleep, the army of desire, and so on. So over here it says that one should use great exertion to subjugate such armies and armies of the Maras. If you could practice with exertion, then one will feel rather very happy. One will not be inflicted with any afflictions, and one will not be troubled by unhealthy situations such as lots of sleep and so on. For example, I myself, when I have great exertion, then everything falls right into the place. But when I don't, then it's a different story. Therefore, we should then practice great exertion. I think this is really how one should practice. The next one says, 30 says, one will always seek practice of wisdom as real characteristic of no mindfulness. Over here, no mindfulness, in other translations, it translated as no arrogance, which would be easier to understand. If one do not feel arrogant, then it will be easy for them to give rise to wisdom. According to Avatamsaka Sutra, it says that if one could then practice without arrogance, then one will not be abducted by Maras. So, no arrogance, or no mindfulness, or no such thinking of arrogance. For one who seek practice of wisdom, them, one has to be then cut through their arrogance. Otherwise, then arrogance will stop the attainment of wisdom. I think Master Nan Huijing, who went to see a Zen master, but this Zen master is very different than what he imagined to be. He lives in a very small place and he lives in seemingly a worldly life. This great Zen master not only lived in a small place, he was smoking a pipe. And when Master Nan visited this Zen master, this Zen master made tea and then also cooked for them and received them very warmly. I'm not going to then elaborate too much on that story. But the point is that whomsoever you are, a master or a lay practitioner, it is important to be humble, to be devoid of arrogance. There's nothing to be arrogant about, really. We have so many afflictions, and maybe temporarily we have some of the fame, some of the wealth, because everything is impermanent. Therefore, there's nothing to be arrogant about, because you could be a king in this lifetime, but next time you could be a beggar. You could be wealthy in the first half of your life, and then you could become a beggar in your second half of the life. You could be really active in the first half of your life, and then become vegetated in the second half of your life. So nothing to be arrogant about. The 34th one, in this one, it will be a little different, but I'll explain. According to this translation, it says that one will know satisfaction through minimal desire regarding the worldly dharma, one will seek the supermundane dharmas without tiring. In fact, this translation is according to Taisho Tripitaka, that is a Japanese Tripitaka, or Tripitaka then edited in Japan. But in other translations, it is said that one will seek supermundane dharmas without tinted. Rather, they would follow or going accord with the habitual pattern with the worldly habitual patterns. But they're not tinted. So the Taisho Tripitaka was then edited in 1912 to 1925. But according to the Qianlong Emperor's Tripitaka, as well as in the Sanskrit version, as well as the Tibetan version, the translation is a bit different. So according to the other translations, it should be then divided into these two dharmas. The first one says that one will know satisfaction through minimal desire regarding the worldly dharma. One should be very contented with the worldly providings and worldly materials. Otherwise, you won't be able to attain the truth from this world, because the more desire that we have, then it is difficult for us to attain realizations from our practice. That is why in Buddhism teachings, some of the highest teachings are only received by monastics. Why is that? It is because that desire and worldly chores could be of great obstacles. Therefore, the monastics or the renunciants, and then they can receive the teachings successfully. But for the ones who have great worldly desires, they won't be successfully to practice such profound dharma. In the majority of translations, it is considered as the 34th dharma, and then 35th.
35个法的话呢，就是那么就是怎么讲呢？就是说 于是无诈啊，就是二冷岁损事件，就是于事件呢，就是无有诈
will
然的
not
意思。
be
于是
tainted by the world, yes, yet going in
于
accord
事法
with
呢
the
就是无
world.
诈然，然后二冷这个岁事件，就是这个是咱们和大多数里面就是
So
也是
this
也是这样
version
讲的，
is
这个
the
于事法
one
呢就是无诈然，二冷这
that
个
is
岁
more
事
in
件
accord
啊，
with
就
the
那么
majority
这
of
个
the
是应该是
translations
这
or
个35
additions,
个法。
including
那
the
这个
Tibetan
意
and
思
the
是什么
Sanskrit
呢？就是
version.
我们这个这个于
So what
事
does
件
it
的法
mean?
呢，就是实
It
际上
means
是
that
不炸燃，就很多修行人就是他
practitioners
虽
are
然呢
not
就是
tinted
就
by
这
the
个跟世
worldly
间的这个各种
practices.
贪嗔痴啊、世间
Lots
法
of
法呢，没有
practitioners
这个
and
燃
they
上它啊，就犹如日月
do
不足
not,
恐，犹如年华不足水一样。
they're not
就是
tinted
虽
by
然
any
这
of
个
the
菩萨住在这
worldly
个轮回当中，但是他
afflictions
呢
or
依
habitual
然的这个
patterns.
清净，依然的这
Just
种这
like
个
the
这
lotus
光明
flower
啊，就
is
是
not
没有这
tinted
个
by
炸燃
mud,
的。
and just
但
like
是呢，
the
就
sun
它
and
是
the
这个
moon,
岁
they
损事
rise
件
but
啊，
do
跟那
not
个
abide
世
in
间
the
人呢，
mid
就
of
是言
the
行举止啊，
space.
很多这个行为的话呢，就是也是完全都是特别
They
特别
go
的
in
这
in
个
accord
事
with
件啊，就是
the
事件。
worldly
所以
people,
说呢，
with
就是
the
这个是菩萨
worldly
这个
custom,
行为啊，就
but
是确实菩萨呢，
they are not
就是他
tinted
虽
by
然住
any
在
of
世间
these.
当中，但是呢，
So
被这个世间法
bodhisattvas
呢
are
就是
just
没有
like
这个
that.
染上。大乘菩
They
萨的很多
abide
行
in
为呢
this world,
就是这
yet
样
they're
的。
not
我们大
tinted by
多数
this
人呢，
world.
就是认为是啊，佛
Majority
教
of
呢就
us,
是应该
they
是
would
超离这个
consider
世间。
us,
佛教是
they
出
would,
世的，其
majority
实
of
也并
people
不
would
是。
consider
佛教呢
that
基础是有入世的，就是
Buddhists
这么一个
are
教。啊，
out
就是
of
从
this world.
从大乘菩
Buddhism
萨的角度来讲
doctrines
的话
are
呢，
out
佛
of
教
this
是完全
world
是
because
入
it
世
is
的，
not in
而
accord
入
with
世
this
当中
world.
也
They
是
are
是
very
比
high
可能
up
实
there.
践人还
In
要
fact,
这
this
个
is
入世。
not
为什么呢？
completely
因为
true
我们
because
实
the
践人的话呢，
bodhisattvas,
可能
they
对那
would
个
then
一些
abide in
特
this
别这
world.
个
They
低
would
劣
go
的、
in
就贫
accord
穷的
with
这些
this
人是
world,
看
and
不
even
起的。
sometimes
就是即
more
使一个特别好
accord
的国
with
家的
this
话呢，他
world
们对
than
乞丐还
majority of
是
mundane
并不是
beings.
很好的这个待遇
Because
啊，不是很好的待遇。
a
但
bodhisattva
是
would
佛教的
even
精神的话呢，就是即使我们实践
treat
当中
the
最低
beggars
劣的这些
with
众生呢，
great
也不会舍弃
equanimity.
的。所以
But
说，佛教呢就是有
in
这样的
lots
一个
of
精神。
in
这
majority
是
of the
第
countries,
30
they would look
第
down
30
on
这个
the
五个
beggars
法
or
就
poor
是第
people.
35个法。然后36法呢，就是
So
不会
that was
为
the
疑啊，就是
35th
二
and
冷这个
36th
岁
is
数，
that
就是
yet
意思
one
就
will
是
be
说
able to
这个佛教呢，
accord
就
with the
是
profane
那么就是不
without
会这
either
个会
forsaking the
会
worldly
就释怀，
dharmas
就是
or
他的为
breaking the
比如说出家人的话
deportments.
呢，那出家人他有自己
The
的这个，
monastics,
不管是穿
they
着方
have
面也好，
their
语言上也好，
ways
还有这
of
个行为上、发
dressing,
心
their
上都有他的
particular
这个
ways
各
of
自的一
speech
些
and their
修行的这
actions.
个威仪。
And
但是因为他的这个
very
威仪呢，就
particular
是是不是
deportments.
释怀了，就是所有的
But
这
their
个世间法呢，
deportments
也并不是就是
are
他
those
他要
deportments
这个入
going
世的时候
against
呢，就是
of
他也是随
the
顺这个世界的。
worldly
当然，这个是
ways
他还是
then?
有一定的
No,
原
it
则
is
和有
not.
一定的
They
底线。
would
就是如果
carry
超
such
越了底线的话，可能
deportments,
出家人也是
but
很
they
难
would
的。
also
佛教
go
徒也
according
是
with
很难
the
的。我们这个《上师如意宝》
worldly
说，莫使
habitual
忌惮的，就是
patterns.
不要设这个自己的道。
Sometimes when
当
the
然，这个
worldly
为了
custom
顺顺就是有时候稍
is
微有
very
一点
much
改变。
across
哪
the
天我在一
line,
个学校里
and
面讲课的时候，他们说一定
then
要
I
这
think
个按照一
practitioners
个
should not
什
go
么
in
这个
accord
国学
with
老师
such
的
a
这个形
practice.
象了。然后
The other day,
我也没有这个穿什么，就是然后我说这个外面的这个
Uh,
这个脱下来
the
可不
other
可以？
day,
就里面有一个黄色的。然后说是
I
不
went
能
to a
穿黄
school,
色的，就是
and
更不行。
then the
就是然后
school said
然后
that
刚好
I
有一
should
个这个
dress
国
up
学老
as
师，就是他说他家里有一个衣服，就是然后
as
他马上让这个他
Confucius,
就他那个妻
as
子开车
according
就
to a
是去那
Confucius
个
way
去那个
of
他的这个过去这
dressing.
个这个什么上衣，
I
这个
said,
烫
can I
衣服
just take
然后
out
穿上一个还
the
比较可以的，
external
就是
one, and then I
也
would
是
just
就是
wear
红色的，就是也算是比较适合的。但
only
是说是这
the
个
the
下面就是
inside of
穿
the
这个出家
clothing.
的裙子不行，就是这样。让我们说怎么办
A
呢？
lay
就是后来
practitioner
他们
went
说
to
你
his
最好
home
是
and got a
这
red
个
jacket. I
穿
said,
穿一个
well,
黑
that's
色的
okay.
裙子。
But then they said that I
穿
should
黑色
not
的裙
wear a
子以
red robe either. I said, no, I can't wear a black dress. If people click a picture of me wearing a black dress, then I would be really famous of wrong way.
就这样吧，就然后拉着一个黑色的围巾，就是在这边，就上去的时候稍微那个就是搭一下。
But some people give me the idea of trying to use a scarf covering up my red robe.
但这个过程你们可能听不懂，没事。
Anyway, people could not. You probably don't understand the whole process, but that's okay. The key is that.
就有时候是要顺身，但是顺身的时候呢，也不能太那个了，对吧？
Sometimes
稍微就是一下。
People would require you to go according with them, but sometimes it would be too much, and when it really touches your principles, you should not do it either. Anyway, according to Pachu Rinpoche, he said that your speech and action, you should go accord with your relatives and friends, and your clothing should go in accord with the local costume, and your mind should go in accord with the Dharma. It's quite important to go in accord with the local costume. That was the 37th. That was the 36th and now the 37th. One will generate sagacity of numinous penetration and entice sentient beings. On numinous penetration, we don't have it yet. It's good to have numinous penetrations to entice sentient beings, but if we don't, it could be a little bit difficult, but we should at least use some skillful means to benefit sentient beings. On one hand is not to break the deportments. I think according to the Dharmagupta Taka Vinaya, where they told the story of a bhikshu who, after finishing the meal, he did not make dedication of merit. And then the Buddha said that to this bhikshu, saying that you should chant this verse after the meal that people offer to you. The verse that he should chant it says that if alms are given for benefit, reciprocation is assured. If alms are given for joy, joy is assured. So one should not break their deportments to break sentient beings. Also during the Buddha's time, also a story from Vinaya. During Buddha's time, many people had great numinous penetration. There was a bhikshu who wanted to liberate a Brahmin woman, and the Brahmin woman, she was cooking a roti, and this bhikshu, through his numinous penetration, he saw that this woman is matured to receive the teachings. And then this arhat, this bhikshu, appeared suddenly inside the house of the Brahma woman, and the woman still do not want to offer this roti to him. And she said that even if your eyes fall out, I would not offer you this roti. And then the eyes fell out from this arhat. And then she said that, well, I would not offer you even if your eyes are as big as a bowl. And then that's what he did. And then she said that if you die, I wouldn't even give you. And then he died, and she was really afraid, and she took the body into the palace and saying that this person died in her house. And then she said that if you could revive from death, then I will offer you this roti. That's then what this arhat did. He revived from death. This Brahmin woman still was very stingy and did not want to offer him the whole roti, rather just some of the side and little pieces of the roti. And the arhat said, that's okay as long as you can make some offering. So after she made this offering, her merits were then matured, and she started listening to to the Dharma and attain
这样
fruition.
深刻是有些深通来读终身，然后
So
各
with
念众
numinous
持啊，就是
penetration
所闻不忘，就是这个是应该
is
38
really
法，
wonderful,
就
isn't
是
it?
得到了这个
The 38th it says
真
that
念和
one will
众
not
持
forget
啊，就
that
是
one
这
has
样
heard
之后
through
呢
the
所听
dharani
到的
of
法呢，就是
memory.
都不会忘的。
Whatever
就
you
像现在
hear,
时间人
whatever
说的有
dharma
些什
you
么
hear,
照相机
you will
记
not
忆
be
啊，就
able
是
to
就有些
remember, just
好
as
像那个过目不忘，
nowadays it
就
is
时间
said
当中有
as
些
a
呢也有这样
photographic
但
memory.
实际上呢，我们可能
There
很
are
多
people
道
who
友啊，就是
only
就
by looking they'll
就
memorize,
记
they'll
了
be
以后
able to
呢，就是
memorize
有些会
everything.
忘的，有些啊是记
There are
性
people
很不错
who
的，
have
就是
good memory, who
包括我们
doesn't.
考试的这个卷子啊，考试的这个
I
过程当中
saw
的话呢，
some of
有
the
些人
exam
应该记
papers,
性很不错的，
and
尤其
from
是有
those
些老
papers
年
I'll
人
be
就
able to
是
see that
就
they have
记
good
性越来越
memory.
好，就是
Especially
这也
some
是个
older
非常好的一种迹
practitioners,
象，
and
对吧？
they have even better memories, which
然
is
后
a
第
great sign
39
of
个法
practice.
呢，就是善别
The
诸根啊，
39th
就
it
是
says
断
that
除
one will
圣
discriminate
谛，
well
就
between
是
those
这个
of
善教
various
呢，就是辨
capacities
别
and
就是众
eliminate
生
the
的
doubts
根
of
基
sentient
啊，就是
beings.
这个是上根者，这个是中根者，这个
If
是
this
这
person's
个
of
下根
high,
者。
medium,
然后
or
呢，就
low
是因为根基的
capacities,
是众生的根基不同的话呢，
because
对
sentient
他们
beings
就
have
是
very
传输
different
就是不同的法。
capacities, and
这样一和的话呢，
and
就是断除
the
众生的坏业。其实
bodhisattva
我
will
们众生有
be
各种
will
坏意啊，各
teach
种邪
different
见，
will give
这是
different
非常
teachings
正常的
towards
事情。
sentient
我们
beings
有
of
些人
different
就是产生
capacities.
一个
There are
什
people
么
who
邪见
have
呢，就是产
wrong
生一个
view
坏意的话呢，特
and
别
lots
就
of
是就
doubts.
上心绝望
And
啊，我现在
once,
没有什么希望了。其实
especially
这
practitioners,
并
once
不
they
是
have
非常
some
严重
wrong
的，
view
因
or
为
some
我们每
doubts,
个人呢，就是因为
they
有坏
feel
意，
really
就是本来就是需
discouraged.
要修行。通过
They
修
feel
行
very
以后的话呢，
discouraged,
才能
and
这个
I
断
don't
除。就
think
像
that's
大法基金
necessary
当中
because you
也
have
讲
to
了，就是多闻不
continuously
同经，
to
闻
practice
难
and
呢
to
信不动的。
listen.
有些有了光文博学的
According
话呢，
to
那就是
the
这
Sutra
个
of Heap of
任何的
Jewels,
这
it
种
says that
这个
bodhisattvas
疑难，
are
任何的这
well
种危难
versed
面
in
前的话
infinite
呢，信不
Dharma
动摇。
teachings, as
然后
their
呢，就是
minds
慈
are
悯故
unwavering
说
by
法以
any
断诸
challenging
众
questions
生意，
in
是吧？
front of
就
a
是因为
great
他特
assembly
别
or
悲悯
by
的话呢，看
anyone
到众生
out
有
of
这
their
么多的邪
compassion.
见，
They
这么
give
多的
Dharma
断
teachings to
见，这么多
dispel
的
the
偏见，
doubts
就是这个
of
时候呢，
sentient
他
beings.
以
The
这
sentient
个
beings have
就是非
such
常悲悯
wrong
的心
views
来就
and
是
lots
宣
of
说，啊，
doubts
真
and
的
lots of
我们这
questions.
个众生
And
还
out
是
of
很需要
the
的。我们
compassion
的
of
就是
bodhisattvas,
也
they
像那
give
个
the
现在
Dharma
各个
teachings
地方
to
啊，就是如
dispel
果有一
such
些
wrong
需要
views
就是
and
讲解
doubts
说
of
法的
sentient
话呢，
beings.
就是我们在这
So
里已经就是有这个6年以上的，就是得到这个毕业证的，就
people
这样的有些法师的
from
话呢，就
different
不一定
places of
待
the
在某
world,
个地方啊，
if
激进的
you
地方，
have
应该就
the
是适应的，就是
the
想派一些
request
地方
of
啊，就是还有
listening
一
to
些
Dharma
法师
from
的话
Dharma
呢，就是可
teachers.
以在
Over
1
here,
年
we
也好，
have
半年也
lots
好
of
，6
Dharma
个月
teachers
也好。当
who
然，这些法师呢，并
completed
不是
at
到
least
哪里去
at
天天
least
吃喝
6
玩乐
years
待着的。
of
如果这样的话
studying
呢，肯
and
定
received
下次就不
the
派了，就甚
certificates
至开除
of
也有可能。
graduation, then we
但是
will
那
send
个
some
就
of
对
the
方
Dharma
也要有
teachers
一个
to
要
you
求，
to
就
give
是
you
我们也要
teachings.
有个要
We
求，就真
have
正是讲经说法
requirement
的话呢，
towards
我觉
the
得还是很重
people
要的。
who
我
give
有时候出
request,
去1
and
2个月
people
的
have
话呢，
request. You
就
could
是
also
把
report
这
to
个
us
时间就是
if
排得满
the
满的，
Dharma
就是
teacher
虽
do
然
not
自己并不
then
是
follow
是
the
得
rules
到
and do
了什
not
么就
teach
是不
well,
同
then
的这
maybe
种智慧
they
啊，就
will
是没有这个
not
光
go
文博
out
学。
to
但
teach again,
相
or
对而
maybe
言
they'll
的话
be
呢，
expelled.
我们现在
We
很多
never
人呢，
know.
就是对佛法、对真理方面的
There
这
are
些
people
这个
nowadays
可能
who have
就这种修学的时间不长，就是这样而言的话，
who only
就有时
study
候
the
是
Dharma for a
确
very
实
short
自己出
period
去
of
一趟，
time.
虽然很累，但是呢，还是绝对是有一些就感觉上还是可以的。因为这个原因的话呢，就是有些也是借上了这个对佛法界借上了善缘。
There are
这样
people,
的话，对
although
他
they
的解
didn't
脱也
study
是
for
有希
a
望的。
long period
所以
of
我们
time,
以
and
后的
they,
话呢，
when they
也
went
是
out
这
and
个
give
向
some
这个派
teachings,
一些
they
这个
felt
法师，就
that
是
it
这
is
些法
quite
师也是
necessary to
并不
give
是为这个
teachings to
名啊、为
benefit
财
sentient
啊、为利
beings.
啊这
Of
样。就
course,
是如
this
果
kind
真
of
正这
people people are this kind of Dharma teachers that we send out are not to make any benefits of their fame or gain any wealth, but we have such resources of the Dharma teachers. Their monasteries, there are Khenpos and Khenmos who give teachings, and there are Dharma teachers. And there are Dharma teachers who had not received the certificates of Khenpos or Khenmos. But if you invite them, they would still be able to give you teachings and guide you through and so on. I also encourage encourage those of you who stay here, do not only consider about your own well-being in terms of your living situation as well as your meals and the clothing and so on. I think as Mahayana practitioners, it's quite important to work to eradicate the doubts of sentient beings.
这是什么呢？就是这是39个法，就
That's
是
the 39.
39法。然后第40个法
The
呢，就是
40th, it says that one will expound upon the Dharma without hindrance, taking pleasure in one's eloquence. Over here, taking pleasure. What it means is that there are 4 kinds of eloquence. The first one is taking pleasure in eloquence. It is because they've already received the supreme eloquence because of the supreme wisdom that they've attained. Therefore, one will not be challenged by others because of the eloquence, and they can expound the Dharma without any hindrances. Just as what we say that if a perfect person expound the Dharma, then all the Dharmas are perfect or well-rounded.
当然，这个跟其他的译本有点不同，但是我就不光说吧，就是意思就是说呢，就是如果有了这种辩才无碍的智慧的话呢，那就是在不同的地方呢，就是用佛法来这个绕一众生啊，他自己呢没有任何的这种障碍，就是这个很重要。不然我们有些人呢，就是他在闻思不革，闻思不革的原因呢，就是将来这个佛法过程当中，就自己有这种畏惧心啊，有些是太畏惧害怕了，有些是好。
Dharma without sufficient studying of the Dharma, then they would feel fearful in terms of teaching. But there are also people who they feel quite arrogant, and they feel very, and they would feel very arrogant and proud in giving the teaching.
也有这样的，这就是像我一样啊，就是不是什么，就是别人啊，我说的我自己。
I was really talking about myself without seriously teaching the nonsense. Of course,
什么勒索辩才不一定得到，但是呢，还是他自以为是自己已经就是宣述这个无量的法，就没有任何问题，就是就特别的这种，也有这样。下面第41个法呢，尽13道数人
The 41st, it says that one will be pure in carrying out.
没有掉吧？对了吧？那么尽那个就亲近这个13道，我们这
One will be
个
pure in carrying out the 10 types of goods and experience the blessings of
那么就是
gods
最后
and
述到什么呢？
humans.
就是述到这个人天
The
的这
10
个
types
福
of
报。
virtuous
就是我们一
actions,
般
once you
行
practice
持
in
13
such a way, you'll be able to experience the
其实
fruition
现
of
在跟世人
the
的这个
gods
主要
and
佛教教
humans.
育13一道，就是这个很重要的。
10 virtuous
像一些这个
actions,
13一
in
道经
fact,
呢，
are
然后呢，就
quite
是让他们就是
important.
获得
The
了我们
sutras
欲
of
界
the 10
当中的
virtuous
这个
actions
人
is
天的这个
quite
福报，
an
就是这
important
个是
sutra
很重
to
要的。
study.
这是41个法。
That's the
然后42个
41st
法
and
呢，
the
就是修四
42nd.
无量
It says that one will cultivate the four
开梵
limitless
天道，
and
就是
open up
那
the
么
path
这个
to
我们一
Brahma
般就是四
heavens.
梵主，就是这个
There are
什么
four
慈悲喜舍的这个
Brahma
四无量心。那么修这个
abidings
四无
or
量
the
心的
four
话呢，那么
limitless,
他们
rather
就
the
逐
four
渐就是开
limitless.
这个梵主心，
And
也就
through
是
the
说
four
这个
limitless,
天界的这
you will
种
be
天
able
道
to
这个天
then
道也可
open
以
the
说。
path
如果我
of
们
Brahma
这个四
heavens.
无量心呢，以这
If
个
we
菩提心来摄受的话呢，
practice
那
the
就
four
是超出
limitless
了这个所有的这
with
些这个轮回，就是
bodhicitta,
应该
then we
获
will
得
be
了
able
这
to
个佛的
will
这
be
种
able
辩
to
证的这个
transcend
果位。所以这样
samsara
这种
and
心善呢，
receive
就是
the
就是这个
omniscience
叫
of
做是
Buddhahood.
这个修
So
四无
we
量道
receive
的。
such
然后
fruition
第
of
43
omniscience
个
of
法呢，就
Buddhahood.
是全
The
全心呢，
43rd, it
就
says
是
that
做法
one will
随喜
exhort
这
and
个
request others
赞
to
下，就是
explain the
得福
Dharma
音
and turn the
圣
turn the wheel of Dharma, and accordingly, joyous in praising is excellence, attaining the Buddha's voice. Over here, these two are again together rather than separated in the English texts. So for those people who would say excellent, excellent, to the ones who turn the wheel of Dharma, they will be able to attain the Buddha's voice. It is quite important to request others to turn the wheel of Dharma, such as Mipa Rinpoche as well as Longchenpa. There are disciples who would offer ink and paper and pen and brush to ask them to then request the Dharma teachings. This is quite important. Similarly, to Pansukpa Rinpoche, there are disciples who requested him to then give the teachings of Dharma. This is quite important. This teaching is also taught in the 7 branches of offering. The 44th one is that one will be good in the act of body, speech, and mind, attaining the deportment of Buddha. Again, it should be one sentence instead of 2 in the English text. For people who practice the pure virtuous actions of body, speech, and mind, they will naturally receive the blessings of the Buddha as well as the deportments of Buddha. The blessings of the Buddha receives the blessings of the Buddha. If we have better, more virtuous body, speech, and mind, then we'll be able to receive more blessings. And the evil ones, or the ones who practice lots of misdeeds, would not be able to receive the blessings from the Buddha. And 45th one says that one will profoundly cultivate the good qualities with one's practice becoming increasingly excellent. Some practitioners, they would practice rather vastly. They practice the esoteric as well as the exoteric teachings. They express, they study quite extensively in terms of the vastness with the many texts. And there are people who would study for a long period of time. They would say that I stayed in such center for such years, I studied this text for such years. But if you do not dig in, if you do not study in depth, then it doesn't matter how long you study, it is not of any benefit to anyone. There are people who didn't study for a long period of time, but they practiced, but they studied in great depth. For example, if they study the Bodhicharya Avatara, then they study the Bodhisattva's act in very depth, and then they'll be able to then give rise to genuine bodhicitta. Then that's study in depth. And there are people who practice Vajrayana, and then they give rise to pure perception. And then people who study emptiness, they have genuine insights of emptiness. And those are the depths. I myself, I think that I've studied quite vastly. I've studied esoteric as well as exoteric teachings. I know some worldly teachings, but I myself feel that in lots of aspects, that in some of the key aspects, I lack depth. Just like myself, I see that there are people who practice for a long period of time, who study for a long period of time, who then accumulated lots of numbers in their practices, and they practice for many times, even the Nondro practice. But if they do not grasp the key point in depth, then they should still practice continuously to practice. So I really think that everyone should look into your own mind. investigate whether you are such a kind of practitioner who profoundly cultivate a good quality, who profoundly practice in depth. And then the 46th one, it says that with Mahayana teachings, one will become Bodhisattva monk. Over here, Bodhisattva monk, it means Mahayana monk. Through the Mahayana teachings, you then can be led to become a Mahayana monk. There are people who are new monastics. The only thing they care the most is that, oh, look at my head, I've shaved it really clean, and look at my clothing, I look really good in this robe. I use my cell phone, I'll take a selfie for myself. I get ordained to take photos, to take selfies. And for people who have such kind of intentions, it's not called as Mahayana monk. It's not called as a Bodhisattva monk. A Bodhisattva monk is a monk who's like a Vimalakirti. There are new ordained practitioners. I really think that it entails a long period of time of practice as well as extensive work of benefiting others. For people who are monastics, especially the monastics who are here, you are not really ordained with the support of your family members. Therefore, I really hope that the sanghas over here, you should provide lots of help to those newly ordained monastics, especially the ones who probably don't even have a shelter to live, who do not have a place to eat. Nowadays, I see that people would take things very personally. If the supervisor do not keep, if a newly ordained monastic do not keep a good relationship with the supervisor, then the supervisor do not provide skillful support to the other. I really think that there are people who after they got ordained, they are unemployed, so to speak. They're not being helped. They're not being able to find any position for them to provide service to the Sangha. There are people who feel rather very painful after they got ordained. I think it is due to a lack of support from the Sangha. I call up on those supervisors in different departments to then get to know different people's situation and to try to help them accordingly. Do you know what I was talking about? Yes. The last one, it says that without mental laxity, one will not fail in the host of goods. Do not have such laxity in your mind, because the emphasis of Buddhism is on the mind. What's most important is the aspiration and the action. According to all virtues are subsumed within one nature, where it says that practicing the Dharma is more valuable than merely verbal debates, as a verbal debate is like insects gnawing trees while producing character images by chance. The insects would then gnawing on trees and create different images such as words and characters, but it is just like that. If people, some practitioners who had a good dream by chance, if a person who just by chance then in some ways had a great insight of the deity and so on, it's only by chance. It is not really by exertion. If your mind is constantly in laxity, your action is definitely also in such laxity, in such a frivolous state. Many people practice for a long period of time, and because of frivolousness in their mind and action, then they will not end up with any fruition. That is such a pity. The last one, and it says that practicing a dharma such as this, one is called a bodhisattva who does not exhaust the conditioned. This is quite important. According to Master Sun Zhao's connotation of the Vimalakirti Sutra, it says that practicing accordingly, upholded by oneself and liberate others, merit would prosper day by day. This is called not exhausted conditioned. The not exhausted the conditioned, in fact, we've studied the 47 dharmas from here. While conditionalities are of disintegration, if such practice is given up, the conditioned virtues would deplete eventually. Just as in a bank, if we deposit some money in it, if we do not continuously to deposit in the bank account, but continuously to use the money from the bank, to withdraw from the bank, then eventually you will deplete, your bank account will be depleted. But if you could then continuously to deposit into the bank account, just like that, if you could practice in such a way, that is called a deposit in the pool of merit. In Zen and mainland tradition, there are people who would talk about emptiness, but they would then exhaust the conditioned dharma. They said, no, you don't have to practice the meritorious actions and so on. This is wrong, because then they will exhaust the conditioned dharma. So for those of you who study this part of the teaching, I really hope that you could continuously to listen, to study. Do we have replays? Can you watch it after? For some people, they place great importance with the Vajrayana replays, Vajrayana teachings replays. But there are people nowadays who can only watch on certain days. I'm not making a promise, because our volunteers who provide the service of technical support, in fact, they are already quite tired. But I also know that there are people who are busy, but they attach great importance in listening to the Dharma. Maybe we should provide such service. Of course, this is not a request for you to make such service available, but I really think this is great to then study in depth. This is quite important to remember it. It says that one will profoundly cultivate the good qualities with one's practice becoming increasingly excellent. One will profoundly cultivate the good quality. One will study in depth. It is not enough to practice diligently. It is also important to practice in depth. And there are people who practice rather successfully, and there are people who are not. Why is that? It is because it's lack of depth. Without depth, as I said earlier, with depth, then it is easy for people to practice with a key point, and they will be able to practice and gain great insights. And there are people who do not blend or emerge with the Dharma. If your mind is blend in with the Dharma or being one with the Dharma, then your mind and your mind consciousness continuum will not change. I hope after finishing learning this part, you should really repeat to yourself that do not exhaust the condition, do not exhaust the conditions. This is quite important, these 4 words. Remember this. This is one of the most important parts of the Vimalakirti Sutra. Nowadays, in the world, lots of people would forget this, do not exhaust the conditions. And today we'll stop here.
Jaravanam jetam bachum zananjam shanch bibshurpa kanda navarab shilib zambo bshurpa number jawaya mawam karpa ganda jalparabja Stalpatham chalatayam kurvanam sunamayashi tagnam zaravni taptang shirabatam zananam daradam yundan gandhi mazalam zotajir dalchitana danyala janam de jantar samji machab sarjenam sarje de jevinam shibala shanch bishalpa shurjam davarabja Tetar mali tamchara shoksaya chatsaman chunla tiksaman sarnyaleje sarje jamsu janaman jamsu da jamsuru chuchang aratamji songchigiyan laga jamsu dakalaje jalwa kanayan laga nam dagapam doa kanjem samba chibjanaya sarje sonla dagatamji parabje Zamashagpa jarva tamchalatam kurlum saranam arabtam kurvaye te ta ga yang so yang ma zara la lo ye to je da jang ra dem ji ma om kar pa tham chadem ji par yang ka chi chi kim da jam ji par de ka yam kar pa te sam sal te ta ka ji che ji ji na ji par de te sam shag pa ma ye sang ge ka te ta ka chi chi lam da kif ta 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 te ta ka na sho ya la la je mar cher pa nam tar to chim ji Kaya tisma taka jam korapa te taka darchi dan tam baradab te tar malim shognaman tham chadata jarawa taka janaman kollamji kaya mapshunan jitin drumma nam apshang chibaram baram sanjam kolom kor nyanganam di parap ta jam tar tun gumbo kanji tong tab dagam sho Dang kan ni goye thag pa top tag tang kan da yon da nap shur pa to nam dang kan da chap pa sham ba tak to kan ni ge wem so nam top dag dang chag pa me par ker pa ye shi to ba shera ba tap tang tang zan top tag ki shang chap to nam yang tag da par shit li je to nam yong sa tag shit jam nyu mo to nam kan dam jam par shit da je to nam to mi la rap shit jam zang bo shur pa to zog parabje jana ma jam so number tag shire cha sim chana jam so tag na number dur chuna ma jam so ratam thong shire cha ye shi jam so rat to parabje chur pa jam so number tag shire cha mol ma jam so yo so zog parabje sar de jam so ratam chup shire cha jam so ma chup cha parabje kaya di sam shag pa jarwa yab shang chup shur pa mol ma shita nam zambo shur pi shang chib sang je ne te kanam da ke ma le zo par je jarwa kan je ti je tho pa kang ga ma na kan da zang ji sha ki pa te tang song par je pa shar ge wan da ta ga tham che da rap ta mo li tang ga ta yid cha nam da ga jam shur pa nam da ga jang nam yon da ga pa ngo ab zang bom ki pan chem da wa tem da da ga jang te tang song par sho kan ne ge wa zang bo je pa shar jam khala jin mo lam jel parab je ma wam kar pa kan da ma cho war te sha wa ma le zog parab je shar pa ta na sa yu da ma ker je yun da nam jang sa zong me par sho shar pa sa me le pa la ne ne jam te ta ga thar pa tham chalam sa warab je nam kim thar ti ker pa cha zam bar sim chen ma lim tha ya te janan te cha zam le tam nyu mom tha jer ba dak mo lam tha ya te zam Kayam shokchi janam thai param chinam jandi jalawa nam la phal thatang ma yeb devam chognam jan jangab danya da ka par paravi kangi ngova jarpun da thunim shanchaman chok ji zura moshang Samyang tad pa dir pa nam so nam tam bam chok tam dam jero kangi zom shur mu lam da ta bi te ngan son tham cha da pa varan dir te na chok po ngan bar pa wa yen nang wam dai de an tem nyeram thong te ta ga nyat pa rab nye la de varam so me chin dar ya te ta ga la par on kan da zam po te an chen da war te ta ga ram pur ma tha ko te jinam jer samireng po ta ka di pa nam kang me shi wang gi shi pa ta te zam po shur pam da jodana nyer ta ma le on sa shang waram jer ye shi ta na zi tan than nam da ri tan kha to nam dam dam baram jer da ta mer ta ma bu ti ma thab ji ti ne sam bo kan nam shur param jer chang chi bi xiang wang zhong de dem nyeram do song ni sim chen pam shir dem de te chang chi bi sa jim ko lo ra de ko ru da nam de dam chi pa tham che dam tan kayam zam bu shi pa mo la man da chang wa tang na tun tam lo na ya de nam ber man ba sang jim chen nam shang chi ben chok la som nya ma phi de ji jem ko la wa wo chi ter kim ba da kan de zam bu te an de bi nan de kan ji ji sim dang tho shir ge wan da ta ga tham cha da rap ta ngo ti sim sha ga pa jar wa tham cha de ji mo wa kang lam chok ta nya ba de da ka ge wa sa wan da kan cham zam bu chup shir rap ta ngo re je da nam chi wi ti shir chir pa na cha pa tham cha da ta nam shan sa ra de ngon sa ma na wam tha yim tem tho ne de wa jan ji jan ta rap tam ju tir son ni na mo la man da ta ga jan tam chil malim ngon tam dir var shog de da mali da ki on se ka jiten chit de sim chinam bam berje Galvat Tim Korov Zajaga Vatir Pamu Tamba Kandan Zilichi No am Tai Gelmi Monsamanda Lontan Bayam Daki Tirtovisho Terna Daki Lontan Raptovani Chilpam Ambushi Wan Chagdai Bloyet of Chief Shocha Namsaya Simchana Namla Bamba Mambuja Zambu Sherpa Molamantum Baya Giwa Chonzal Daki Chasaba Enam Drova Molam Giwa Nam Kachi Chiki Tamjalam Jerveresho Kayam Zambu Shepan the Mubim Sunamantai Tamba Kantovdi Dunga Chever Shawana or the Hawkame the Panera Batoperesho Molama Jelapun the Tagam Choka Son Tain Roa can lap him Shilija can the Zambu Jambu Jean Traverse Ganson in an Amale Sanjir Kasamani Shanmavatam Chunyala Manjir Dimba Shanlavda Game the name of Shalam Dumba Shanlavaji Chatar Moa Molam and Deperesho Tariata Pansananjaya Awambudana So high Pami Diji Durji Danjum Jet Panamar Niravalamba Karamantolanto Ripa Quatim Shim Jimmy the Panzo Javla Soraman David Jadar Gombus and the Banyan Leg Queen the Chitam Deeper Shinji Lobam Sorta Ton the Mir Salanga Melata and Deverokim the Pambam Drove Sasama Jalava Jamsum Jenny Jagela Shinchin and Pupa Shipa Solomon Milatams Convanium Tagandor Takapa Yeshi now I'm shocked the jumps of Shan Hamo Deeper Yam Deraton Drunky Jibs Mala Sorovan de Picatim and Deradurji she served and names that beep shop Jim Corloch Yam Delachayan Tamzi Samai Tamdo Bamdi Ranta John Jiraji Jamni Jerv teaches Zamot Jamsun im tif to yo melal haksam dem burim dotunam jap gimsan barajaraji bapa samdan ngarhmem zambayem depa soji nindr yonga jan data pshalajab shawi talam diwara Taptanam Sham Tarajib Chashi Banzara Gara Palma Sada Palma Sada
尊贵的上师仁波切，尊敬的堪布堪姆以及现场的诸位道友。